Chapter 19, One Last Shot. You already know the drill. Things are never that simple. There's always that one last twist, that one final shot to take. So I was ordered to cough up 125,000 pounds, but after some back and forth, it got knocked down to 117,000 pounds. By July 2015, time was running out on my license period, and I had managed to pay 99,000 pounds, leaving 18,000 pounds hanging over my head. A judge gave me until October to get it sorted. So far, so kind of good. Then boom, July 10th. The police showed up at my place looking to recall me, but I wasn't home. Apparently, I had broken my license conditions again. Maybe I'd been somewhere I wasn't supposed to be, or said something they didn't like. Whatever it was, they weren't having it. By Monday the 13th, they came back, slapped the cuffs on me, and dragged me to Luton cells. That's when they sent in some intelligence guy, who let's just say was not giving MI6 vibes. Dude was a 25-stone mess who claimed he'd spent 30 years working on radicalization cases. And now, he wanted me to help them. I wasn't sure if he expected me to clap for him, hand him a medal, or bow down and kiss his fat arse. But either way, he was in the wrong cell. My gut told me this was just another play, either the same shady MIB crew in disguise or those clueless mediation people from London. Did I want to talk? Did I want to help? I hit him with, "And what exactly can you do for me?" He goes, "We can make things easy for you." I was this close to being free, and these guys were still on my case. So as a final goodbye, I told him, "F off, and tell your boss to fuck off too." Yeah, they might have had the final say in locking me up for the rest of my sentence, but they weren't going to break me. Not when I was this close. Of course, back to prison it was. Woodhill refused to take me. Bedford said no as well. At this point, I should have been getting loyalty points at these places. But nah, even they didn't want me. I'll take that as a win. So they dumped me in HMP Peterborough. As soon as I got there, I told them straight up, "Look, I'm here for 8 days. Just throw me in solitary and lock the door. Trust me, it's better for everyone." They knew exactly what was going to happen if they didn't. But surprise, surprise, they didn't listen. They put me on the wing. By now, you already know the script. Deja vu, right? Another prison, another round of warnings ignored. I told 5 different officers, "This is gonna go bad. Someone's getting hurt, whether it's me or someone else. Just lock me away for 8 days and let's all move on." Did they listen? Nope. Next morning, they dragged me into the office. I told them again, "This is going to turn to shit." And this time, I wasn't wrong. I wasn't even in Peterborough for 24 hours before trouble started brewing. Turns out, my new neighbor was none other than Fahim Khan. You know, the guy serving 28 years for murdering a teenage rapper in Bedford and slicing off another kid's nose and ear with a meat cleaver. Yeah. Great. I saw him sitting on the stairs one time and for a split second thought about just kicking him off. But I didn't. I was really trying to behave. Didn't matter though because the setup was already in motion. By day 3, word spread that Khan had put a bounty on my head. A mobile phone, half an ounce of spice, prison gold, 500 pounds in cash. And all of that in exchange for someone throwing boiling water in my face. Oh, and they mix sugar in the boiling water so it melts your skin off. Yeah, fun. I was wearing flip-flops, by the way, not exactly combat-ready gear. At 10 a.m., they called exercise. Just 2 female screws left on the wing, no backup. And let's be real, these 2 weren't about to step in. I spotted a Somalian kid hanging around, the same one I was warned about. Then I saw him talking to Khan. Game on. At that point, I had 2 options. 1, wait to get scalded alive. 2, strike first. I picked option 2. I charged him. Full send. No hesitation. And guess what? Khan, the so-called gangster, stayed locked behind his door, screaming through the window. You're f***ed. I screamed back. Do I look f***ed? 'Cause your boy sure does. Adrenaline was pumping. I was in full survival mode. And yeah, I know some people will clutch their pearls over me, calling them out for being Muslim, but in a life or death moment, political correctness goes out the window. The screws finally sounded the alarm. Within minutes, the wing was swarming with officers. Meanwhile, the Somali kid was hiding, bleeding, and I was standing there like, "Yo, can I get my Gucci flip-flop back?" Priorities. Good news? I was finally getting what I asked for, solitary confinement. Sweet, sweet safety. Bad news? That Somali kid wanted to press charges against me. And suddenly, I was staring down the barrel of another 2.5 years inside. And if that wasn't enough, the cops went back to court while I was locked up and tried to screw me over financially again. See, before all this, I had been paying off my 117,000 pine, bit by bit. My wife had some money in her account at one point, not mine, hers, and the police used that against me. They convinced a judge to revoke my payment extension, demanding the full 18 counts immediately. If it wasn't paid by 4 p.m. on July 16th, I was doing 30 more months. And guess what? I was stuck in Peterborough, unable to do anything. Back home, my family was panicking. My mom, who was in the hospital, literally discharged herself, took out another loan against her house, and paid the 18K to save my ass. And that should have been the end of it. But no, even Peterborough's own prison officers were confused. One of them told me, "Mate, no one gets recalled with a week left unless they've done something huge, like robbing a bank." Well, I hadn't robbed a bank, so why the hell was I there? So, one lefty site, full of Tommy haters obviously, decided that my situation was part of some wild government conspiracy. Their theory? That I was being stopped from pulling off a stunt where I'd put up cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad across the country and, get this, start a civil war. The imagination on these people, I swear. That said, it was probably common knowledge that I was meant to show up at the House of Lords on July 23rd. But, as always, some genius out there took 2 and 2 and somehow got 99. Anyway, I just had one last thing to do, wait for July 22nd. That was my day. Freedom Day. Except it wasn't. July 22nd, 2015 came and went, and guess what? I was still stuck inside HMP Peterborough, locked in a concrete cell, doing absolutely nothing. Then the police showed up, acting like they had good news. Supposedly, I wouldn't be gate arrested over some fight in the wing when I got out. In case you don't know, that's when you get released from prison, do a nice little 180 at the door, and instantly get locked up again for something else. The cop talking to me looked all kinds of uncomfortable. Super awkward. He asked what I was planning to do once I was off license. I just looked at him like, "Why do you care?" I told him I was going home to my family, but nah, he wasn't done. He kept pressing, "Yeah, but what are your plans? Going back to the EDL or what?" Ah, so that's what this was really about. They were bricking it over what I might do next. I told him straight, "I'm going home, mate. That's it." Then another prison governor came in, this one Scottish, seemed all right. He asked how many people were meeting me when I got out. I told him, just my dad. You could tell they were expecting some kind of EDL army outside, ready to carry me off like I was Julius Caesar. But nah, just me and my old man. Except, plot twist, I didn't get out on the 22nd. No explanation, no nothing. I know what you're thinking. Surely they told you why? Nope, not a word. They just kept me inside. Apparently, different rules apply to me. Finally, they let me out on July 24th, the day after I was supposed to meet a high-profile House of Lords member to talk about my next steps. Coincidence? Yeah, right. And even though I was technically free, I didn't feel free. Not yet. Probably won't for a long time. Anyway, I walked out, saw my dad, no smug cops waiting with their usual sarcastic, "Surprise, surprise" comment. We just got in the car and went home to my wife and kids. Finally.